Pardon how I look. I'm just waking up. But I wanted to do another video because at some point I'm expecting to just go viral at random one day. And I'm expecting somebody to look at the video that I made before this one and be like, oh, he's just trying to get more views off his grandma's death, man. No, that's not it. I got the news of it that day. And I was trying to, like, I normally have a time when I do my weekly vlogs, and I was trying to like keep it together and just sort of like that was me trying to stay on schedule, so to speak. Um, and that was me trying to stay on schedule and just trying to with the news that I was getting. So in the process of that, I wanted to sort of, and it's like between the time that I did that video and right now, I was trying to make myself ultimately feel, I don't want to say feel better, but just sort of like process the news in a better way than I did. And I tend to do that by just sort of like going dark or trying to like just sort of stay away from everybody. Not necessarily stay away from people, but just sort of like sit in my own mind, so to speak. So there's that. In the process, I had time to think about, kind of like some positivity when it came to this situation. And the first positive thing I could think of was that, like, my grandma got a chance to see her great grandchildren become teenagers. Her great grandchildren. You know what I mean? Like, my grandma had a chance to see, like about almost five generations of her family expand. She got a chance to see that. You know what I'm saying? And in the process, like now that I think about it, my grandma also had the chance to see some of the most catastrophic things in history. Like some of the most groundbreaking things in history. My grandma had a chance to sort of see, she saw 97 years of the world, you know, before she passed. And was lucky enough to live through all of it. My grandma survived COVID. You know what I'm saying? That's something to take into consideration. She survived COVID. She outlived COVID. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So I guess part of me, like I said, it's like, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It still hurts to know that she's not here anymore. It still hurts to know that like I didn't get a chance to see her as often as I'd like. I was really starting to get in. I'm really starting to get into genealogy, and I should have, part of me would have loved to have asked her like, questions about her past and stuff like that. I did get one story apparently about how her dad was fixing up a car, and she didn't. I think it was like she didn't know. She didn't like know that her dad knew how to fix up a car until one day she heard the car go, and she was like just really surprised about it. So her dad, my great grandfather, so to speak, or is it great great grandfather? It's just like, I guess part of me just sort of wishes that I just got a chance to sort of encounter her more to sort of figure that out. But like for some strange reason, this is now sort of sparking my interest back into genealogy and trying to figure out whoever, because I still have my grandparents' names. You know what I'm saying? I still have at least their names, and I have at least some, like I was alive, like, I was around to see at least 3 out of 4 of them, you know, live, and the longest living one just recently passed. So I still know them. I still have an idea who they are. So it's like I don't have to like I don't have to dig into the archives to find out who my grandparents were. But I do want to know who their grandparents were. I want to know their story. I feel like there's more relevance to who they are than just the people that I saw, just the people that I know. So that's kind of something to take into consideration. I'm just too broke to do DNA right now, so I'm basically just sort of going off of like any old records I could find. So I am requesting any recommendations for genealogy and stuff like that. So just, kind of, if y'all have any recommendations for like good genealogy websites or good genealogy tips, please comment below to help me out. I did have something that I wanted to talk about in a weekly vlog, and before I came across the news, and I figured this is me still trying to stay on schedule and stay on routine and stay what I was gonna do. And I'm a little bit better now. I'm feeling better about it. So there's that. It still hurts. Um, but yeah, why can't we be nice? No, like seriously, I understand that like is a bit of a childish approach to this, but why can't things be nice? Like for some strange reason, like as a society, the older we get, the more we feel like bullying is natural. Like it's a natural thing to just harass people and pick on people and make people feel bad. You know what I'm saying? It's natural. So why should we challenge nature? Why should we like people do these things? Why should we stop people from doing things? People also commit crimes. People also end other people's lives. People also hurt other people for fun. But we punish that. We make sure that that doesn't continue. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, if we could punish something that is like excruciatingly bad for like terrible reasons, if we are aware of what is right and what is wrong, why can't we do the same? Like, why can't we just say some mean things are wrong and some mean things are just equally as wrong as some of the more catastrophic things? Look, I'm not saying like there's this video that's going viral on my Facebook right now. It's this guy. I'm guessing, like, I didn't see the video. I've only seen like references to the video, but I never saw the video itself. But apparently, this guy, he's getting out of a fast food place. He has on some clothes. Some women are hassling him about how he's dressed, and he keeps responding with, "I ain't fresh though. I ain't fresh." Now, as far back as I can tell, I was always under the impression that I am I am the least attractive man on the planet. I have basically all but convinced myself that I'm not attractive. My girlfriend begs to differ, but she is a loving and caring individual. So I would like to think that, like, she loves me, but probably wouldn't have thought I was attractive maybe a decade ago, if not further than that. But, and it's like, I don't know how she puts up with me, man. I really don't. But the fact of the matter is that, like, I still have insecurities about my physical appearance. And I've always basically told myself, like, before I had a girlfriend, I always told myself I was the ugliest man on the planet. And should the situation calls for it, I'm going to get a robot. Yes, that's still going to happen. Like, it should me and her break up. Like, I'm not doing this dating thing again. I'm getting a robot. Like, that's it. Game over. Um, but, the fact of the matter is that, like, because of that, I was always told by people who wanted to sort of detract me from this way of thinking that all you have to do is be confident in yourself. You got to be confident in yourself. You know what I'm saying? You have to. It's like, just because these women don't want you doesn't mean you could, like, just say you ugly. You gotta say that you attractive. You gotta say that you fresh. You gotta say that you good looking. You know what I'm saying? They will always say this in regards to, oh, if you say that you're good looking, then somebody is going to agree with it. Somebody, like, some ladies are going to agree with it, and ultimately that's how you get the girls. So you feel good about yourself, and then you get the girls. And to be quite fair with you guys, I did not feel like the sexiest person on the planet when I ultimately ended up with my girlfriend. I did not. I still don't think that I'm the sexiest guy on the planet. I sometimes have to ask her, "Do you really think that I'm like you? This?" So to see the inverse of this scenario, where this guy who truly is confident in himself and truly knows that by the way, he was kind of fresh from what I've seen in the gear. He did look pretty fly. But also, it's an expression of his creativity at the time. Like, you're not gonna, how you gonna, like, they knocked the guy for that. And the reaction to this was, I feel like, overblown a little bit, because now you have, like, because there's some people out here, specifically the women that I know, who was like, he wasn't fresh at all, man. He ain't fresh at all. He didn't even look that good. Another thing that I noticed was that, like, they were saying, and this was a big one, like, one woman basically said, well, guys catcall us all the time and talk smack about us all the time, so we should be able to get our lick back at least once. To which I say, y'all don't get it back just once. Y'all really don't. The whole reason why there's an entire subculture of guys who are anti-women is because they've been burnt so many times by women that they just basically turned to "I ain't want your butt no way" into a subculture. Um, well, I ain't really want you anyway. Let's go ahead and make an entire cult about that. So like it's just basically like, but it's just but she does bring up a good point. Guys do indeed talk smack about women's physical appearances. So she's like, well, why can't we do that back? And I'm like, why do we have to do that in general? It's like we don't fix the problem by trying to make the problem into a bigger problem. I don't like the idea of mocking somebody because of their physical appearance anyway, because but the fact of the matter is that, like, well, you make fun of Donald Trump's weight all the time because he's rich. He can literally afford to eat good food, and he chooses to eat junk food. He's rich, like literally, like you can when you're rich, you can literally afford to look better, and he chooses to look that way. That's not me insulting him because of how he looks. That's me insulting his literal lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Well, his lifestyle is his lifestyle. Why are you picking on him? Because he's rich. To put this in perspective, we were always trained to believe that rich people were like the beacons of like perfection, and see the embodiment of like the basically gods among us. We were supposed to, but the fact is that like then we actually see the rich people that we're supposed to like deify as these embodiments of just what, like, just for perfection. I'm thinking of another word here, but it's like we see them all the time, and they look like that. They look like melted ice cream. They look like this isn't, like I said, this isn't me mocking them because of their physical appearance, as much as it's literally a case of, I know that if I had the kind of money that these guys had, I would probably look better. To put this in perspective, Rihanna is beautiful, and she's a billionaire. Taylor Swift, beautiful, she's a billionaire. You know what I mean? They don't like, these are like, there's, it's just like, it's not like it's impossible. It's just that like some people just don't want to do it. So yeah, and also like, let's be real, like Donald Trump is also racist. Like me making fun of racists in general, like I feel like that's justified. I'm black. They want me wiped out. But that's neither here nor there. The fact of the matter is that like, but the fact is that like, when you, but it's like at this small level, I just don't like the idea of this. I know it's hypocritical. It's like you're gonna talk about how you don't like the idea of picking on people because of their physical appearance, and then here you are justifying it. It's like, shut up. I just gave you the skinny. But the fact of the matter is that like this dude in all of his confidence basically said that he is like he said that he's fresh. He believes in his heart that he's fresh. And the same women who would most likely sometimes tell me, yo, you gotta be confident in yourself to get the girl, are messing with this guy for being confident in himself. It's the irony for me. It's there's a, like, maybe I feel like there's another word to use here besides irony, but it's just, that's the only word I got right now. It's just really frustrating to me that, like, basically what I'm being told is it doesn't matter how good you feel about yourself. If people want to treat you like crap, they will. And I just want to know, if people why do you want to treat people like crap so bad? We live in a country right now where everybody is broke. Prices are going up. It's easier. Whoever's in control of everything right now is trying to make it easier to put people in prison. We have so much going on. Why are we still finding time to target each other? I know that there's going to be some people who's going to go into this video, look at my hair, and go, I ain't listening to anything he says. His hair looks weird. And that's fine. You're allowed to feel that way. But now I just want to know why. I just want to know, like, why can't we just, like, the way that we prioritize being mean to people nowadays, we try to make it seem like being mean to people is just like this thing that we have to do because it's this thing that we have to do because, like, it's just like this thing. Like it's natural. It's something that people do. It's the most human thing about us. Cruelty is the most human thing about us. So we have to like retain it. We have to maintain it. We have to keep it. No, it's not. It's not. Like, we don't have to be this way. We can also just be nice. That's why I always say being nice is revolutionary, because being mean is the standard now. Cruelty is the standard. Picking on people is the thing. Like, we've had crime and people getting and bullying and sociopathy. We've had that forever. It's not a new thing. It's not fresh. It's not new. It's not cool. Everybody does it. But you know what everybody doesn't do? Everybody doesn't help each other. Everybody doesn't devote time, energy, and focus into making things better for each other. Everybody isn't kind to each other. So it's like, and you kind of have to wonder, why does something so beneficial, so necessary, so good, why is that not the standard? Why is that not the norm? Why is that not considered natural? People are gonna look at me and be like, "Oh, he's preaching a word of goodness, and he thinks that he's moral. He thinks that he's a high morality individual. But if I go deep into his history, I'm gonna find something that I don't like about him, and I'm gonna make that into a big thing." You will, because I'm not a good person. I have a terrible history. That's why I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to improve myself because of the fact that the stupid things that I did when I was a kid that you probably won't find out about because it was in the 90s before social media was a thing. I'm trying to be a better person from that now. You're going to find something, and it's going to be disturbing. It's going to mess with you, and it's going to make you think. But it's like, do I still support whatever it is that I used to support back then? No, because I'm trying to change who I am for the better. There's going to be some things I'm going to double down on, though. But it's just simply a matter of asking me about it. Sure, I do have morality-based blind spots. Most of them gender based. But instead of me turning into an incel and being like, "I hate women, they are so disturbing, and women wanted to be wives, they wouldn't be," I could be that, but instead I decided to just go ahead and say, you know what? Women should be allowed to do whatever they want to do. And I should also be allowed to do whatever it is I want to do. And what do I want to do? Travel the world and become successful and be happy. I don't want to get married. I don't want children. This world is a terrible place. But I still want to see some of it. I'm poly. But I'm not looking for 5 girlfriends. I'm just saying, there's a lot that goes into this. There's a lot, like, all I'm saying is, for me anyway, I know that as a society and as a people, we have the capabilities of doing a lot of great things. And one of those things is just treating people with respect. Just being nice. Just be nice. That's why I'm adopting my own personal mantra to be, get nice or get out. If I don't think you're nice, I don't want to hang out with you. Get out. If I don't like, I'm not saying I'm not saying, everybody has to adopt this, but I'm just saying this is what I'm going to start doing from now on. Because if we can make bullying if we can amuse ourselves through abusing other people, then we can also just be nice to people. We can also just be kind to people. We can also maybe stop with the mean jokes. Because they don't be jokes most of the time. If you tell the same joke like 3 times, you believe it. Get nice or get out. That's what I'm just going to start saying in my brain from now on. Well, who are you to determine what's being nice and what's not nice? I'm nobody. That's why I'm using it as my own personal standard. Shoot, I know what I can tolerate and I know what I can't tolerate. And I know why I can tolerate those things and why I can't tolerate those things. I know I'm giving myself my own personal standards to live off of. And if you don't go by my personal standards, then I personally don't have to interact with you. Same thing with you. If you feel like you don't have to if you don't want to interact with me because there's something that I do that's against your personal standard, you're allowed to kick me off of whatever circle you just happen to be in. I will be hurt, but I will also understand because I know that I push buttons sometimes. That's just how it is. But with me, get nice or get out. This is 20 minutes long, I know, but just bear with me. But this is what I wanted to talk about in the last video. You know what I'm saying? There's too many times where we justify abuse and justify cruelty and justify negativity. And then we try to find we twist ourselves in the knots to try to make it seem like what we're doing isn't mean. And the way I see it is, if we can accept the fact that our government is corrupt and that cruelty is the standard and that bullying is a real concept, then why can't you just say, I'm being a jerk because I want to be a jerk? What's wrong with that? Just say it. Just say that you want to pick on people because you want to pick on people. Be open, be upfront. If we're going to be honest and take accountability and stuff like that, then we just need to start being able to say that stuff too. Why is it that as adults we're scared to just be honest? I'm just going to say this right now. I'm kicking you out of my group because I don't think you're a nice person. Well, that's just immature. Yeah, but it's also honest. Kids are the most honest people on the planet sometimes. Maybe we need to take a rule out of their book. Maybe we are immature. Get nice or get out, but also love and peace and happiness. How's that, Momo? How'd I do? Oh my God. It still hurts.